New at noon, Governor Tina Kotek is declaring a state of emergency over Oregon's growing wildfire threat, what it means for the months ahead.
Shut it down! Shut it down! Shut it down!
Well, Portland State University employees rallying against millions of dollars in budget cuts. What's on the chopping block this afternoon?
We are here because soon there will be jobs, jobs, jobs.
Alaska Airlines breaking ground on a brand new maintenance hangar. A live report with just how many of those jobs are coming to PDX. Well, right now at noon, we are following a developing story on the Washington-Canada border. Federal agents are investigating a shooting involving U.S. Border Patrol. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. I'm Blair Best. This happened earlier this morning at Whatcom County, less than a mile from the U.S.-Canada border. We do not know how many officers were involved or if anyone was hurt. But according to our sister station, a witness woke up to yelling, followed by several gunshots. Video obtained by King 5 News shows U.S. Custom and Border Patrol agents engaging with a man. It is still unclear what led up to the shooting. Police and the FBI are investigating. Well, new at noon, Alaska Airlines is breaking ground on a massive new maintenance hangar facility at the Portland airport. Celine Stevens is live at PDX. And Celine, I'm curious, what impact will this have on the local job market?
Blair, this is going to have a pretty big impact here in Portland. So I'm actually standing at the lot where that hangar is going to be at. And according to Alaska Airlines, this new hangar, which is expected to be well over 100,000 square feet, represents the airline's commitment to Portland. And even better, it's going to bring in a lot of new jobs. So this new facility will allow maintenance technicians to work on up to 3 narrow-body aircrafts or 2 wide-body aircrafts at a time. This will allow the airline to recover out-of-service planes faster and relieve pressure on its primary maintenance facilities in Seattle and at other hubs. Now, this is a $135 million project that is set to create over 100 highly skilled jobs for local maintenance technicians, engineers, and service professionals. Mayor Keith Wilson spoke a bit with me about what these jobs mean for Portland.
The jobs are incredible and they're important. These are real careers that pay great wages with great benefits, most of them union jobs. So when you think about it, this is what Portland really is about. But I can't understate the importance of today. This is a massive green shoot in Portland's renaissance. This is a $135 million investment. That's a shot in the arm right now. And so this is the part where we're taking orders in Portland because people are starting to see the benefits of being in Portland, growing in Portland, and being a part of our renaissance.
So although it's just a dirt lot right now, this maintenance hangar is expected to be completed in 2028. Blair?
Okay, Celine, thanks so much. Well, people who work at Portland State University rallied this morning just days before expected cuts and layoffs. Now, the cuts are meant to help fill a roughly $35 million budget gap. The union representing school staff says layoff notices went out to about 50 faculty members this latest round. This morning, union and city officials stood together, saying the university is a vital part of downtown.
We're here to demand once again that we work together to build this place, to do our duty to the city and to the region to build a PSU that will actually flourish in the middle of Portland.
Portland State University is one of the crown jewels of Portland, and it is an anchor institution for downtown. And so the budget cuts here are particularly risky for our local economic development. We need to have investments in our faculty and programs to draw those students in and bring them to downtown so they can have every advantage that I had when I was a student here as well.
Okay, so what's the impact of these cuts? Well, the union says they will increase the time it takes to get a degree, decrease the amount of courses offered, including getting rid of Italian, Latin, and modern Hebrew courses, and class sizes would get bigger. Well, Governor Tina Kotek is declaring a state of emergency, saying Oregon is facing imminent wildfire threat. The declaration allows the state to mobilize firefighting crews, aircraft, and other emergency resources more quickly. The governor cited increasing heat, record low snowpack, and drought conditions across nearly half the state as what led to her decision. Kotek is urging Oregonians to have evacuation plans in place and to sign up for emergency alerts so that you can track changing conditions. And we are tracking some red flag warnings east of the Cascades this afternoon. Meteorologist Rod Hill is up on the weather deck with what's in store. Hey, Rod.
Yeah, thank you for that, Blair. I'm up here on the weather deck. Beautiful sunny day, pleasantly warm from the Rick's Fencing Custom and Decking location. I will say what's concerning to me is, yesterday was day 3, the finale of our first little mini heat wave of the season, 3 90-degree days in a row here in the Willamette Valley. And that first mini heat wave has sparked a cluster of wildfires, generally up in Washington, north of the Columbia River, from south of Yakima over toward Kennewick, and the largest of these fires burning some 20,000 plus acres. Now, what you're looking at right now, as Blair mentioned, is the active red flag warning for high fire danger. This includes White Salmon through the Dalles, out into Pendleton and up into Kennewick through 11 p.m. tonight. And we are already seeing winds pick up. The main reason for the red flag warning, expected gusty west winds. And take a look at the current wind reports. It was a light wind morning in the Dalles, for example, but right now westerlies gusting to 37, and you can see Pendleton hitting 40-mile-per-hour gust right now. So that is already beginning, the blustery winds out that way. Salem, 79 at noon. It's been clear skies down in Marion County for the most part all day today. We had the late marine push move into Portland, but now it's sunny, and it will be this way the remainder of today. We're at 74 degrees. Here's a look at your temperature projection, if you will, for the coming hours. This pushes us up to 79, 78 degrees this afternoon. The wind direction is northwesterly, which is at least going to keep temperatures a little bit more on the comfortable side today and tomorrow. We'll have your complete 7-day forecast coming up. Blair?
Okay, Rod Hill, we will see you soon. Well, here's a look at some national headlines this afternoon. The FBI has arrested multiple people for allegedly planning to attack Sunday's UFC Fight Night event on the White House lawn. A federal law enforcement source says the multi-state group planned to attach deadly payloads to drones to create mass panic at the event, as well as using a gunman to shoot into crowds. A 19-year-old from Ohio is facing attempted murder charges in connection with the alleged plot. The FBI says his mother alerted police after she got concerned over his behavior, including buying firearms, researching locations near Washington, D.C., and talking with other people online. Investigators later found thousands of rounds of ammunition and multiple rifles at the family's home. And we've learned that 2 Boeing employees were among the 8 people killed in a B-52 bomber crash in California. The Air Force plane went down shortly after takeoff yesterday at Edwards Air Force Base in the Mojave Desert. Military officials said after reviewing footage of the crash, there was no chance of surviving, and so they began the process of notifying families.
This was a mixed crew. This was a mixed crew of military, government civilians, and government contractors supporting this test mission.
The Cold War era plane may have been testing out a new radar system installed by Boeing. That's according to the Associated Press. The results of the crash investigation won't be available to the public for about 6 months. And President Trump is with world leaders at the G7 summit in France, but much of his focus remains on the tentative deal with Iran. Vice President J.D. Vance says the 2 sides have signed a digital agreement ahead of a formal signing on Friday. The fighting in Lebanon between Israel and Hezbollah could still stall the deal. NBC's Alice Barr is in France covering the summit.
President Trump's meetings with G7 allies picking up the pace today, including with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, as Europe pushes for more Ukraine support. President Trump also sitting down with Middle East allies, while we're learning more about the Iran framework he's calling a done deal.
They're not going to acquire a nuclear weapon. If they do, all hell will rain down on them.
The full memorandum of understanding is not yet public. The president says it does not include money or sanctions relief for Iran unless Tehran honors key commitments.
We're not investing any money. We have the right to if we want.
Vice President J.D. Vance telling NBC's Tom Yamas Iran would be rewarded for steps like giving up its stockpile of enriched uranium. He pushed back against comparisons to the Obama-era Iranian nuclear deal, as the former president said it's doubtful any new agreement
is going to be significantly different or a significant improvement. The Iranian nuclear program has been completely destroyed, and what we're saying is make the long-term commitment not to rebuild it, and you will get the benefits that come with that.
A formal deal signing Friday kicks off a 60-day window for tricky technical talks on Iran's nuclear program, while questions also remain about the vital Strait of Hormuz, which senior U.S. officials say will be fully open without tolls, sending oil prices plummeting, though Iran said it expects to charge oil tankers service fees. And then there's Lebanon, where Israel plans to keep forces stationed in its fight against Iran-backed Hezbollah militants, despite Iranian demands for peace there as part of any broader deal. In Evian-les-Bains, France, Alice Barr, NBC News.
But we have now learned the name of the pilot who died in a small plane crash near Hillsborough. Authorities have identified him as 49-year-old Keith Irwin from Warren in Columbia County. Investigators say he was the pilot of an experimental plane that went down after takeoff Friday afternoon from the Twin Oaks Airport. Irwin was the only person on board. The NTSB is now investigating.